Download the free Book Lovers Trail Te Arakai Puka Puka audio app and start your literary journey along State Highway 2, from Wellington through the Wairarapa and into the Hawke's Bay, one bookshop at a time. Download the app now from the Apple Store, Google Play Store or the web app. More info at www.booktown.org.nz.
Kia ora, Tim. Kia ora, kia ora. Kia ora. This chair's way too comfortable, eh? I'll end up having a koro nap. So, yeah. No reira, ka Tūhoe, ka tuka te tino mihi, kia koutou kua tai mai nei, ki te āta whakarongo ki wēnei tino taonga, te tokorua, no reira tēnei ka mihi kia koutou katoa. Me mihi tuatahi ki te mana whenua, konei, wētahi, yeah, kia ora. Love your mountains and your rivers, darlings, beautiful. But mai ngā hau e whā, tēnei te mihi kia koutou. So it is my honour to have been invited to, I guess, facilitate this kōrero with our tēnoa tāhua wahine toa. Homai te paki Ria Hall, Anika Moa. Sapai. Kapai. Right, that's enough of that. So I thought we'd just actually start with a few of the rākau over, hand over the rākau. You know, a bit of an intro, pepeha, no hair koe, you know, all that kind of stuff. Ko wai. Oh, that's a sign.
Telling me to shut up already.
Yeah, already.
Ngā mihi ki a koe. Warren Maxwell, I've done a lot of mahi with him in the past, and I have a lot of admiration for you with your waiata, with your... Aren't you a teacher now?
Yeah, well, you're trying.
Yeah. And I remember the strip club we went to back in the day.
Yeah. You still owe me money for that.
You owe me because I did a lap dance.
$25.
And it was just, I just sat on his lap. Yeah. Ko Anika Moa tōku ingoa, no o taitahi ahau, engari tuturu no pauarenga tōku kāinga I roto I tōku mānoa. I was brought up in Christchurch, born in Auckland, Papakura, brought up by a mum, solo parent, Pākehā, English actually, and she comes from Gloucestershire and Stroud, so she talked like that.
Any Gloucestershire Norwegians out there?
And they won't know that.
Tim, get on you, mate.
Really?
Cousins.
Where are you from? Where? Forest of Deans. What about Forest of Moana? No. No tamaki makaurua hau, toko whā ngā tamariki. So I'm a mama to 4 kids, musician, podcaster, radio. I do everything, man. I'm psycho. And if I'm honest, I just woke up for a big sleep and I'm having a perimenopausal flush. You don't understand. Yeah, bitch. My life's purpose is to have a thought, do the thought, move forward, do everything that I possibly can, and I'm a really, really protective mama, and I feed my kids McDonald's. So shut up. And that's me. Testing.
Kia ora tātou. Tēnā tātou I whakawhaiti mai I raro I te tuanui o tēnei whare kiwi o tātou. E tika ana kia mihia e mātau ngā manuhiri ki ngā mana whenua o tēnei kāinga. Tēnei moka o te ika Māui. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, mihi mai karanga mai. O tira ia me mihi ka tika kia koutou te hunga, kua tau mai ki te whakarongo ki enei kōrero pahu I puta I ngā waha o wēnei tokotoru. Nō reira e mihi ana ko Ria Hall ahau. He Ria hau no tauranga moana, no te Whānau-ā-Apanui, no Ngāti Parau anō hoki. And it's wonderful to be here. It's not often that I get to come out and do these kinds of events. And so I'm feeling like a bit of a fraud at the moment because my life has been kids. So for the last 5 years, 6 years, I've been hunkering down, having tamariki and providing a pathway for my own children. So I really resonate with what Anika's just said. And over the last few weeks, actually, I've been reflecting on what music is, what it does and what it means, and the fact that I haven't actually returned to it. And in that thinking was the desire to return back to it as a form of therapy, as a rongoā, as a medicinal whakaora, something to revitalise my soul's purpose, which I'm still deciding what that might be.
Is it finding yourself again because you get lost in parenting?
Yeah.
And there's that rhetoric of women losing their craft because they have to breed and bring up these tamariki?
Yes, I think there's a lot of that in that. There's a lot of that in that, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to this kōrero. Thank you all so much for coming out this afternoon. It's beautiful to see a full house. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to what we come up with this afternoon.
Ka pai. When I got asked to facilitate this kōrero, I immediately, I remembered a kōrero last year. So I was asked to speak with, Nick Bollinger was the facilitator. And then I thought, so I should try and be like that fella because he's really awesome. And then I thought, no, like a John Campbell type character. It's like, yeah, because he's awesome too. So I'm just going to do myself actually. But I wanted to actually start back because I have also vivid memories of when I fell in love with music. And I wanted to ask, as far back, like your first memories of music when you went, can you remember when that was?
I sure can. My mum, Bernadette, and my dad, Ria Moa, who's now passed, they were both musicians growing up. Tia got kicked out when I was 1, so I was brought up solely by my mum. But she used to do, so she was on the benefit. We were called dog bludgers, the N-word, useless Maoris, all that kind of thing, Christchurch. But she used to do gigs Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays, Saturday nights to supplement and to feed us, basically. But we used to go to sleep in a van and then end up in Hokitika, because she had residencies all over the South Island. Wake up in Hokitika, she'd be playing in the bar downstairs, we'd be upstairs, and I'd go downstairs and sit there and watch her. And I remember thinking, how amazing, she must be so famous, because she's doing this gig and all these people are dancing. So she would get me up to sing with her, whether it be Cranberries or The Closer I Get to You, like all those songs that I remember her doing. My favourite one was Smooth Operator. Yeah.
How old were you?
I would have been about from 6 to 12. So I remember going to sleep, imagining myself as a singer and thinking that's all I want to do, and listening to the radio and just being immersed in music. And then I've got 5 brothers and they would all play guitar and listen to Jimi Hendrix. So I got an education through my whānau. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a culmination of things for me. I was raised in my hapu in Tauranga Moana, so Ngāti he hapu. So I was raised very close to my marae. And in the particular area that I was raised in, very rātana, te hahi rātana faith. And so if you understand te hahi rātana, there's lots of stunning singers in the faith. And so I grew up hearing a lot of my nannies, aunties, uncles, cousins, filling our wharenui with song. So that was really my first proper encounter with music, was listening to singers on the marae. And then as a young child, I was involved in the choir as well, the Rātana choir. So from about age 7, I was travelling to various marae around the Bay of Plenty every kind of Sunday, monthly, to attend service and sing alongside all of these nannies. So that was my first full-on engagement with singing. I wasn't raised in a singing or musical household. I come from a very working class whānau. My father raised me as a solo parent. from about the age of 6 onwards. He was all about meat and 3 veg, hard-working, working family values, and he did the best that he could with the tools that he had at that particular point in time, which may come across like a bit, you know, we wouldn't do that today, but we certainly did it then. And really, really amazing learnings from that. My dad we were all into sports, so we all did athletics, we played netball, we did rep, everything. So that was kind of the pathway. I was the supposed black sheep, I suppose, of our whānau, where I went kind of into performing arts, singing, haka. So, yeah.
Because that would have been about the time, I suppose, that the change of the culture maybe then, where the arts were starting to be a bit more celebrated. And because I was the same. I mean, I'm a 70s baby, so music wasn't really considered a career. So I had to go and do something else before I could do the music. But then, you know, something seemed to change in terms of perspective and whakaaro around, I think it was more like, just follow your dreams, son. You know, and that's my mum over there. She told me to follow my dreams. So, yeah.
What I want to know is you didn't have wahine inspiration through your mama. How did that affect you with your waiata and with your confidence? Sorry, Warren. Can't help it.
Well, I'm the youngest of 4 daughters, so I had my older siblings, my tuakana, they're being kind of the nurturing mama figures, I suppose you could say. My 2 older sisters in particular had a very big hand in raising me, alongside my father. And so, you know, for the longest time, I've actually leaned heavily on my masculine side because that's what I actually saw. And very much so to this day, that's very much the case because I'm also a solo parent of 3 small children. So it's kind of a full circle moment, right? And including thinking about going back to music because, as I said earlier, I haven't written, recorded or released in 5 years. And in the scheme of music, I mean, it's a short time is a lifetime when you haven't released something, but at the same time, so much learning, so many learnings, so much life lived in that space. So it's like, well, I'm looking forward to seeing what that produces, what that thinking produces musically.
Yeah. The thing that comes to mind with that kōrero there is how much time, energy, wairua it actually takes to create. Hey, that a lot of people don't know about. Yeah. I mean, with Trinity Roots, you know, minimum it would take us 2 years to write an album. But I'm going to talk a little bit later on about some of the AI stuff that's coming in. You can just whip up a song in 20 seconds, bro. It's like, oh, okay. So we'll kōrero on that further. But yeah, so, you know, how whakaaro around the energy and time that is required to actually, you know, produce, to write, to think of, and something that is substance to you, because, hey, that's the hardest thing for me.
I think the hardest thing is when you're in your 20s and your late teens and you discover that you love music, it's easier to do it because you don't have kids. And your resources, back in the day, our resources were great and many. But now, I've got 4 kids, I'm also a solo parent, and the resources have all gone. And whether it's the government or the lack of, you know, COVID, the lack of support in the music industry, what I did is 3 years ago I burnt out, and I spent 4 years on radio, and I did everything. I was everything to everyone. I've got a 6-year-old who was 3 at the time, and I burnt out like where I was in fetal position crying every day, and I'd go to work and I just couldn't work. So I stopped working and I reassessed it, and it took me a long time because I started perimenopause, I fell into depression, and I got type 1 diabetes. So we're already in trauma with our intergenerational te ao Māori. We're already thinking we need to do everything, right? As wahine toa and wahine that do everything. And what I realised is, fuck that shit. I'm going to do what I want, when I want, as long as I can pay my mortgage. So that's inherently what I did. It took me 2 years to write an album through, 2 hours here, 2 hours there, and every time I'm sitting at the table, it's "Mama, wipe my bum, Mama, blah blah," and you just you have to have different mindsets when you're writing, because you can't just sit there and write and have peace and quiet. You have to take a kid to soccer, do cooking, blah blah blah.
Could be a mean lyric there. Mama, wipe my bum. Mama, wipe my bum. There's a hit. There's a number one hit there.
You
Hey,
wipe it your fucking self.
See, we don't need AI.
I literally wiped my 6-year-old's bum 2 days ago.
Oh, kia ora.
It was a clean break. So then I went, how do I record this album in the time that it will take me, where there's no time structure and no rules? And so it took me a month to fill out a New Zealand on-air application. Oh my gosh. They're like, and now you have to, and I'm like, just give me the fucking money. You know who I am. I don't need to prove anything. Like, just give it to me. So a month. Got the money, which I was very grateful for, and I'm literally about a week from finishing my album.
Whoa.
Yeah. Hold that clapping, because now I have to release it and tour it with children and on my days without my children. So that's my reality, and I know that's going to be your reality once you start writing again. And I don't remember what the question was.
Same. Energy something.
Yeah, kōrero about how much energy it takes to actually write and produce and create waiata, and let alone an album, and then tour it, and, wow.
Yeah, kei te tautoko hau ngā kōrero I puta I Anika. Mo te wahanga ki te whakaaro mo ngā tamariki me ngā āhuatanga katoa. So, very similar to Anika. I haven't been in any space, mentally, spiritually, physically, to give of myself over the last few years to writing a work. Why? Because my world has been consumed with raising children. And I think once you get to a point where you can free yourself from that, from your own shackles of that situation, because it really takes everything from, parenthood takes everything from you, but also so does your craft, because you give a shit. You give a shit about it. You want it to be that version of you in that particular context, and you want it to translate. You want it to resonate with people. There's so many thoughts that race in your head. Oh shit, am I sounding okay in this? Is it the right lyric for this? Oh, what shall I do in this part? Who can I get in to help give this? Oh my God, are you still relevant? Are you still relevant? In a world where, social media says what it says, and the world looks at women 40 plus in a certain way. It can be really paralyzing to reconcile all of that. So I think I'm at a point now where I actually don't give a shit whether I'm relevant or not. I'm trying to get now into a mode of thinking that's like, well, I've got something to say. I feel like it's relevant, and I feel like people will resonate with this shit.
The thing about that whole am I relevant thing, and I've thought about it a lot, is that the people that have grown up listening to our story are still there.
Yeah.
You're here. So, yeah. So, yes, we're relevant because people are growing with us. And we don't want to be like boom cut with 20-year-olds. We want to connect with our own age people who understands where our life sits now, right? So you're relevant, I'm relevant. You're relevant.
I've retired.
But the theme is that because we are given so much pressure to do everything, and we mean everything. We're cooking, cleaning, raising kids, having a career, doing this and doing that. We can do whatever we want because people will understand that's what we are.
Absolutely. The relevance, it was something I wanted to kōrero around definitions of success, because that changes over time, eh? So you want to kōrero, you know, from Mai Te Wā, you know, I tuku mai tō your album, your first album, that definition of success to e nai nei, you know, hey, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I kaupapa tautoko that because my definition of success has never waned. I was never fooled by the music industry and by fame. So at the start, it was always, I'm just doing what I'm doing. If I'm winning, I'm winning. If I'm not, I'm not. That's okay, I'm doing what I'm doing. Now my definition of success is waking up and wanting to wake up. Because I went through a phase where I didn't want to wake up and I didn't want to get up. I felt so alone and depressed and stressed because I felt guilty because I wasn't making goals and keeping promises that I was going to meet people and all that kind of thing. No, my definition of success is to just sit with myself and to wake up, make my bed and try my best every day.
Kia ora, bub. Kia ora.
Yep.
Yeah, I reckon it's really... I mean, to be fair, I haven't... if we're talking to success, I haven't done what Anika or Warren have done. I think being okay... I think being okay and sweet with who you are and your capacities is a powerful thing to be. And so that's where I like to sit. And I've been blessed because over a 20-year career plus, I've been able to work with Warren, I've been able to work with Anika, I've toured with both of them, and we have like the best community ever. Musicians have each other's back, singers have each other's back. It's just a really liberating space to be a part of. And for me, I think that that's been why I've stuck it out, because I find liberation in that community. I can be authentically me in that community. If these ones know me well enough to know what my style is like, what I'm probably going to say in my lyricism, how I'm going to communicate that, and it's made up of a number of fundamental things that are important to my value system. One, takutaha Māori. Te reo Māori, ngā kaupapa Māori, kaupapa o te wā. So things to do with the context that I live in and I value. And I think that not just Māori value, but Aotearoa at large values. Two, is that your... Yes. I love this. Are you kapai?
I'm on a pump and it tells me off all the time.
No, I love this. See this, but this is the reality of the context that we're living in.
I can't see it either because I need glasses.
So speaking to that, anyway, ding, ding,
I want to tell you something though,
yes,
Ria.
Go, tell
There's
me.
two things that I feel proud to know you about, okay? There's one song that you released when I'd had my baba Marigold 6 years ago, and it brought me to my knees, and it was that song Flow. Flow. I kept texting you. I love it, because she spoke to me with her waiata. And another thing is we came to Tauranga, was it Tauranga? Or somewhere, to tautoko you when you ran for mayor. And how frickin' amazing are you? Yeah, because she had a thought and then she did it. And like a lot of people are too scared to take that risk. You did. And you lost to Mahadrazda, who doesn't even fucking live in Tauranga. But you know what? Keep going. We need you. So that's how I see you as success.
Kia ora, my sis. Kia ora.
Kia ora. And
just to her second point, the other thing that as part of that kind of whakapapa value systems is politics. Because inherently, when you are Māori and you are born into this world, you are automatically politicised. So that's an important thing that I've always carried with me. But it's the way in which, and actually next door is a great example of that. There's a wonderful political panel next door. But just the marriage between politics, te ao Māori, and New Zealand as a whole. And then, of course, my tamariki. So those things are always syncopated into my musical, creative craft and thinking. Yeah.
Woven in together. Eh? It's funny when you mention our careers, because I look at you and what you've done, especially with matatini, with kapahaka, and like I'm the same. I think one of the hardest things for us to do is to not compare ourselves, eh? Because I mean we have aspirations, but honestly, sis, when I look at what you are doing and what you have done, and that, like, it inspires me. So, and you know, we've got some of our rangatahi here, you know, from our kapas, and we're all woven in together. You know, we're all woven, all the generations, way back, mairano. And when I see events like this here at Booktown, it just, really kind of solidifies this path that Aotearoa is on. Despite what we see in the bloody media every day, you know, it just feels like there's this swell, this underground kind of tsunami of, let's get this shit done right. Yeah, so, and, you know, music plays a big part in that. I mean, when Trinity started, we never ever went out for fame and fortune. That was just bullshit. So it was all about the music. I'm going to say our definition of success was when we were playing on stage, we had to create magic on stage. You know that feeling? That you know, you get the shivers or you get taken away with something when you hear a certain song, or you go to a live gig and you shut your eyes and yes, just something happens, eh? Which in itself is that's quite a high bar to set, because you got to get that every time. It's like a drug. You've got to get that synergy between you and the band, you know. It's not going to happen every time. Yeah, but it's funny though, because when we'd walk off stage and we go, oh, that was a shit gig, eh, bro? Like, yeah. Someone would come up and say, oh my God, that was the best gig I've seen Robert Plant, and you guys are better than that.
Were they chewing their face?
Yeah, yeah. They might have been on the spectrum of some sort, but you know. So yeah, that was and still is, I think, this in terms of music. Success. And I didn't grow up with kapahaka, but now since I've joined Kuranui and I see that magic created with our kapahaka group, oh man, I'm just into it, eh?
It's exactly the same principle, which is why the appeal for me to transition and learn in haka, in the haka world, is kind of my university of learning music, because that's where I learnt, that's my whare wānanga. Well, outside of Te Ahahi Rātana and that singing, then transitioning into haka, and then the transition into music was easy.
Yeah.
Easy. Yeah. And I actually recall a time where we were playing. I was doing backing vocals for Trinity. This might have been 2010, and we did the tour.
Yeah.
And we were playing at the Opera House.
Oh yeah.
Wellington Opera House.
Yeah.
And I remember vividly the moment and the feeling that was us talking to, which is that kind of that tau to moment, which is like a reciprocal thing that happens on stage. And it's a reciprocation of what I've always coined as the ihi, wehi and wana factor.
Kia ora.
And that swirls and creates a vibe, and then something else, magic, happens. It's a witchery of some sort that you can't fully explain, because you have to feel it. Exactly the same things happens in te ao haka.
Yeah.
Exactly the same thing happens. So that appeal, man, it just really, it was easy. It was an easy sell for me. Yeah.
But that appeal also comes in your personal life as well, right? You know, when you know that you're having a good day with your kids, or if you're, I don't know, you're winning in day-to-day life, or you're a librarian and you've managed to get someone to learn and read books, and you've taught your kid how to kick a ball. Like, it happens not only on stage, it happens with everyone's lives.
Yeah.
Does it?
Yes.
Yeah. I think because one of the things I remember as a 6-year-old was that magic, that tipua, that feeling, you know, seeing how, because we used to have parties, ma, you know, not ma. And out would come the rakura, the guitars, and or Elvis Presley and Blue Moon and all this. And you see all mums. Yeah, I had a few beers in them, but you just see the joy all around the room, eh? And it wasn't a once were Rory's blimmin' smash up bloody thing. It was actually good times. It was fun, lots of kai, lots of singing. So 6 years old, you see that, you go. And it wasn't a conscious kind of thing at the time. I was like, oh, this is cool. And then I saw Debbie Harry Heart of Glass video. Mum, I want to be a musician.
Is that how it started? Was that love and it was a yeah? And then Warren was like,
RTR, I think it was. RTR, yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was like, hey,
Yeah.
we had 2 channels, remember that? Yeah, yeah, now look. No. Okay, haere tonu. So, I want to talk about writing, ko te mano te kupu. So as songwriters, songwriter. I don't know about you, I failed English, school's English. Now I'm a teacher at Kuranui. Funny that. I was associate professor at Massey University. Just saying the fucking system's broken, man. Yeah. But transferable skills from, being in the arts, right? Being in the arts. Oh, have you got a real job? And all that kind of stuff, that kind of rubbish. But I've found, I was talking to Ange, my wife, this morning, how as a songwriter, you painstakingly work over lyrics, words, kupu, syllables. Should I repeat that? Should I repeat that? Peep. So I find it really, I actually enjoy writing funding proposals now because I almost treat like a funding proposal as a type of a waiata, a sort of, because you want to grab your iwi, your South Waiata District Council, kia ora. And it bloody worked. It worked. Yeah. Kia ora. Yeah. We just got
You wooed them with your words.
Yeah, that's with words. Yeah. And I think my dad wooed mum with the words too, eh? Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, he hoa whakaaro, that transference of skills from being an artist. And I'm not talking just about kupu, it's hard work, the 2 hours sleep a night, all that kind of stuff. I don't recommend it, by the way. Don't. Yeah. Kōrero mai, those transferable skills.
Me pono taku kōrero, if I can be frank. I think creatives, artists, people that think bigger outside of the box are more than capable of doing absolutely anything they put their minds to. Anything that they put their minds to. I mean, shit, girl decided to run for mayor of one of the most racist cities in New Zealand last year.
Actually, Christchurch is up there, girl.
They were scared of you, so say that's
they were, but the point that I'm trying to make, and the reason for that particular decision that I had made, actually myself and my cousins in that other room, Kiritapu Allen, the reason why I made that decision was because there needed to be a disruption. And it needed to be a disruption of epic proportions. And when I say epic proportions, it needed to come from a place of 1, a female, 2, a brown female, 3, a female from the area, tauranga moana, from all the iwi, 4, a youngish female, 5, a female who happens to have a moko kauai, to really start getting people thinking. And this is the power of the creative. This is the power of what the creative does and what the creative mind puts their heart and soul into, is that they think broadly above and beyond what anyone else would think. And so for that, I think that that's a fucking superpower. Yeah. Creatives in every single sphere of what they do have a superpower that they just need to understand how to harness it. Because what that superpower does actually transcends space, time, context, and it brings a wider community in together into a conversation. So that's for me is the reason why I'm actually continuing to do whatever it is that the hell that I'm doing currently. But because I think that there's a space for a creative in anything, any single professional realm, whatever. We can actually do bloody everything and anything.
What I want to ask you is, you know how when you get into politics and you're you, can you still be you? Like, because you know you have to front up and smile and not swear, and but just be a personified person. Can you still be honest?
I mean, that was an exercise. So I'm not a politician by any means. I mean, I didn't, I obviously didn't win mayoralty, but what we did do was start to get people talking, and we started to shift a narrative, and we began to sort of move a city that was inherently very racist into having other wider, broader conversations about what the Aotearoa New Zealand is that we would like to leave for our tamariki, for our mokopuna, all of us. So that's what that did. That's what that exercise did, and that was the purpose of that exercise. Was I myself in every single iteration and every single retirement village that I had to go to, or every single hall that I had to speak in, or, you know, every single debate that I had to do, you know, painstakingly scratching my head most times? It was still me, and it will always be me, because I would always enter into a space and pepeha, so I'd always mihi. So I'm not going to turn into something else because someone is uncomfortable by my presence. I'm always inherently going to be me, and that uncomfortability that someone might feel has got nothing to do with me. And so I was always, in whatever sphere that I roll in, I'm always really aware of that. And I still.
I've got one more question for you, because this is what I struggle with in society, capitalism, socialism, is that you are inherently running for mayor in a governmental structure where you're playing by Pākehā rules. You're not playing by Te Ao Māori language and rules. How does that affect your wairua, and how does that affect how you act, and are you frustrated by that process?
I think that, you know, and this does tie into a creative space too. This ties back to the kaupapa of music. But at that point in time, I'm lucky because I have my own safeguards. I have my own spiritual safeguards, and I can defrag spiritually, regardless of how many daggers were in my back at the time. And those daggers came thick and fast. Yes. But I know my own mechanisms to defrag and to pull those daggers out, to recenter and to carry on.
Why are the daggers there though? Does it happen with all politicians or all people?
I mean,
or just Māori people with kauai?
Yes, I can't answer that because it was very contextual. But yeah, at any rate, I was still who I am at every single event, at every single talk, at every single debate. And I'm unapologetic about that, because I'll always be me, irrespective of what anyone thinks. Yeah, like you.
Yeah, but
you know?
There's some one thing Warren. One thing I find in the world is I get really frustrated because people. How do I explain this? You're too much for people. And you're too bright for people. Yeah. And I've lived in this life where I'm ADHD. I cry all the time. I have impulsivities. I fall in love all the time. In fact, a couple of years.
Yeah, Featherston.
So, and I don't believe in moulding myself to actual society that we see. I believe in moulding myself in whatever world I see. And some people say, you're wrong. That's not the right way to go. And I'm like, well, you're not God. You're not the ruler. You don't rule me. I do what I want. I'm not going to hurt anyone. And that's what I do with my writing as well, with my kids' music and my adult music. I write about life, and I write about my personal life, and I write about what we all struggle with love and loss and grief and happiness and lust, and I'm unapologetic about that, and I just move. I just move and move and move. Did you just do the nail thing? Oh yeah, the thing. Kia ora. When I first started writing when I was 13, I learnt how to play the guitar first, and then I went to school, and the boys were like, you can't play guitar. I'm like, yes, I can. Dicks, yous can't play guitar. And so I taught myself how to play Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton's. I can do a mean solo. But I was in a place where boys didn't think I was good enough. And then I started writing music, and they're like, you sing out of your nose. I'm like, I'll fucking sing out of your nose in a second, motherfucker. Because I was
Just
brought
going to take
up.
a short break. Calm down.
My mum brought me up to believe in myself and to do what I needed to do to make myself happy. You know, I remember when I came out to her, which wasn't even coming out. I rang her when I was 20. I went, Mum, guess what? And she was like, hey, my little daughter. I said, I'm a gay now. She's like, what? And I was like, Les. And she said, oh, it's probably a phrase.
A phrase, just a phrase.
I was like, do you mean phase? And she's like, no, phrase. I just made it up. You're going through a phrase. And I was like, I don't think I'm going to be going through this phrase. It will probably be a lifetime thing because I like boobies. And she still to this day loves me because I did what I wanted to do, you know? Yeah, and all my brothers gag. They're like, yeah. I've got a brother, Richard, who we call Racist Richie. Christchurch, because he's Pākehā. He goes, ooh, yuck, you're gross. I'm like, why? And he's like, because you do things with women. I'm like, so fucking do you. You're gross too. And you're ugly. I digress. Racist Richie, fucking asshole. Racist Richie, he's such a dick.
I feel like we've come some way, but we've got a long way to go, eh? We've still got some ways to go, but we're getting there, eh? Often with anything to do with tiriti or waitangi, I sort of think, well, the Titanic is slowly starting to turn, at least, you know, that kind of thing, that metaphor. Kapai. Okay, I was going to go back to sort of starting. I know some people may be thinking starting a waiata, like actually starting to write, you know, because that's the part that takes me ages, and continuing and finishing. Hey, so and well, like sometimes, you know, like because you've had record deals, like, and there's a timeline.
Yep.
So you have to have the album finished by here. So do you sit down and do the 9 to 5, or does it just come? You know what I mean? How do you? Yeah, what is that to you? What's your process there? Because I have had to do both. I have had to sit down 9 o'clock in the morning, start work. You know.
I have a TV show called Toy Time, which is a kids show. We're in season 4. They gave me a timeline of February, and I only just finished yesterday because I couldn't bring myself to be inspired. I had to wait until I was inspired, and I told them twice through 2 deadlines, I'm not inspired, I'm not doing it. And they're like, well, we're filming in June. I'm like, well, that's fucking June. Like, I'll do it before June, but just don't stress me out and let me come up with these songs. And now that I've been allowed to take my time, I've written some cool songs because I don't give myself a timeline.
Yeah.
The producers do, but I ignore them. And I tell them, I wasn't on my emails this week because my kid was sick. I just like fake it.
when it comes, eh? When it comes.
It has to just arrive. You can't fake that shit, eh?
No, you can't fake it, because then if you fake it, then you're doing yourself a disservice. You're doing the people, you know, your listeners a disservice, and it just comes across as inauthentic. So what's the point? Yeah. You know, putting all these restrictions, all these thought processes around. Well, I've got to do this for the funding. I've got to, you know, that's the antithesis of the creative, is all of this restriction. So it's like, well, how do you not bound your thinking into all of that and just free yourself? Yeah. In order to write, and like you said, when it comes, right?
Yeah.
When it's there, it's there. When the moment hits, then the moment hits, and it normally smacks you in the face.
Yeah.
But it smacks you with something that's profound for you, your tinana, and then you can get into a zone and...
Well, that's like
And right.
your song Homeland and Sea. How did you come up with those first lyrics? From the tela te
And what was it born from? Like speak to why you decided that it was necessary to write that particular song.
So I was with Freddie's in London. We're living in London, you know, starting our tours over there. And at that time, Shania Twain and her husband bought they bought half the South Island. No shit, I mean, it's like a 20,000 hectare state, you know, yeah. And nothing against Shania or her hubby, but it just made me realise that Aotearoa can be bought. If you got the big money, you know, you can, and it's still happening, It's still happening. So, yeah, that really pissed me off. And I started writing it just on an MPC. And that was going to be a Freddie song.
MPC.
Oh, it's a little sampler thing that you just write music on, you know, and a guitar, you know. And I took it to a couple of the bros, you know, Dallas, I think, and Toby in the band, but it was too slow. From the tail of the fish, you know, no, we need something up. And I'm like, okay, fine.
I'll have it.
I'll give it to my other band. yeah. But it was really around, the thought that Aotearoa can be bought. And also everything that we're seeing today. I mean, our kids can't swim in our rivers anymore. You know, our beaches are getting polluted. So the memories that most of us have here as kids, our mokos, our grandkids won't be able to experience those. That's the shame. So, that's where that came from. And I was pissed off.
What year was that? When did you write that?
1860. No, it's about 2000, I think. It's about 2001, maybe? 2001, yeah.
Just after the treaty was signed.
Yeah, that's right. I was there. Yeah. He pātai taku anō. How hard is it to write a happy song? Do you follow? Because I think my happy songs just sound so cheesy, eh? I'm in love, yeah. Hey, do you find that? Are all your songs like mine really angry and miserable?
No, you know. I like that. I have this dream. Dun, 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 dun.
I like that.
I love that song.
That was in my head for 2 hours this morning.
I wrote that when I was 17 in my bedroom. Yeah, because I was dating a guy who was 10 years older than me, and I was thinking about how... it's a light, fluffy song, but in reality, I'm thinking about how older men love younger women, and how my imagination of it was like a bit creepy, if I'm honest. He's still my friend. So Youthful was definitely a song about the power men have over women of a certain age. Not that he had power over me, whatever.
The way round, other way round.
No.
A happy song's hard to write.
No, happy songs are easy to write as long as you... Dreams in my head. Yeah, it's not a happy song. It's a song about wanting someone and desperate for them to pay you attention and desperate for them to look at you. But it just has happy notes. You know, you can write kia ora. Yeah. You can write a very devastating song, but it's gonna translate in a happy way. Falling in Love Again, one of my other songs. Yeah, I'm falling in love again. I was homesick for New Zealand, and I was writing about how much I love Aotearoa, and I put it in a context of there's a boy in every town, no wonder I get around, which is not true.
What a hase, eh?
In my defence, I was straight, acting. I thought I was straight. But I imagined the words of getting around because you love New Zealand, and I love New Zealand. I love this place. I don't like David Seymour or Christopher Luxon. I saw Nicola Willis and the big chin dude at the Chris Bishop at the airport yesterday, and I went past them and whispered, "Dicks." They wouldn't have heard me though because she was too busy fucking telling him. And I was like, shut it, bitch. I'm very political, and I'm not Labour political. I'm Te Pāti Māori and Greens. So I did a gig in Lincoln and Christchurch, and the whole crowd were national, and I said, "Ooh, who's voting for Te Pāti Māori this year?"
Silence.
Yeah, and I was like, "Fuck yous! Listen to Falling in Love Again."
Oh, brilliant.
Forgot what
I'm feeling
Wait, what was the question was?
Anika for... Need
How-
Anika for local body politics.
Oh, yes, she will.
I'd get thrown out in the first 5 seconds.
Oh, just, the
Happy
dilemma
songs.
of writing positive songs without making them sound cheesy, but that's just my buzz.
There was I came to Featherston and stayed with might have been 2016 or 2017, and we were having a wānanga, songwriting wānanga. And we came up with this tune that hasn't been released, but we came up with this waiata that was speaking about te whare tapa whā, whare tapa whā by Mason Jury, and talking about taking care of all the facets of your house. So, your spirituality, your physical body, your well-being from the perspective of a whare. And actually how difficult at times that can be, but was it disguised it in a way, tune-wise, that and vibe-wise, that you would never think that was the actual crux of the song. So the hook was like, "These 4 walls have simple arms, a table and hearth. When you find yourself lost and the cold is buying into your bones, you'll be the sun flying into the sun." So it was something like
4 years ago.
it was like ages ago.
Oh, right.
But just the kaupapa, and like it was real like vibey, like you could have a full on like moment, like a rave.
It was quite...
So like full on vibey.
It was dirty,
real cool.
rave. It was awesome.
But like what Anika was saying, it's like it's that whole thing about like being able to take a kaupapa and flipping it with tune, with vibe, with all of the things, and we're probably running over time. But yeah, anyway, it's that. It's that.
Kapai,
Yeah.
kapai, yeah, it can be. Oh, gosh. So we've got about, 10 minutes, 5 minutes left? Kapai. Do you want to open it up to...
To the floor.
We want to open it up to the floor. Anyone got any... Oh, straight away. Kia ora, sis.
Hoi.
Kapai, Jay.
I actually have a little bit of an aroha message for you, Anika Moa. I'm a kindergarten teacher in Carterton, and every single day that I spend at my kindergarten, we listen to your kids' music.
Kia ora, kia ora.
Pay my mortgage.
Yeah, true, eh? Yeah, kapai.
And the what, sorry?
Your Colour's a Beautiful song. Oh, yeah. Why do you say arangi instead of karaka for
Because I was
orange?
brought up learning arangi instead of karaka, and I chose to do that because it's my kaupapa, and I get that from a lot of people. But kia ora, and that goes into the theme of writing what you know. So when I had my twins when I was 31, I didn't have them, thank God. My ex-wife did. I wrote about them. So I just continued doing Bubba's albums because I was writing about what I wanted to at the time. And my manager said to me, "Go on, bloody kill your bloody career. You're going to kill your bloody career." And I went, "No, I don't give a fuck. I want to do kids' music because my partner, Kate, says I'm a 14-year-old boy, really." Thank you. Kia ora.
Any other questions for Ria or Anika? Yeah.
Yeah. No, you do it, Ria. Okay, I'll do it quick one, then you do one, okay? She'll be about 4 hours. I've been married and divorced twice, and I've got a lot of songs.
Yeah. Koina.
I don't like being divorced. It sucks.
Yeah.
Heartbreak, yes. I mean, some of the best tunes in the world have been born out of a heartbreak, out of breaking up, out of that kind of situation. So that's no different for us. It definitely is cause for lots of inspiration and for the cuppeth to floweth over.
Yeah. Because then you might have the makeup songs.
Yes.
The waka chicka wow. Hey, we were listening to D'Angelo and Maxwell and thinking, how many babies have been made on those albums?
Yes.
This is my son Maxwell.
Have you got any makeup songs? I mean, I know you've been married to Ange for about 20-something years, but
Yeah, but
do you have any?
we've said, my wife and I, we said, we should break up so I can write an album.
If you break up with Ange, I'll step in.
Yeah, thank you.
She's beautiful.
Fair enough. Any more? Probably just one more, eh? Kia ora. I often wonder if these should be like metrics that we have, you know, and I'm always thinking of school, you know, for our kids, like, did their performance move me? Yes. I don't care if it was, you know, it wasn't the technical thing, but your performance, I felt it for some reason, and that is me, for being.
Auntie in the back.
Oh, tēnā koe e hoa, kua roa te wā ki te tāua i a tāua nei reire mihi ana ki a koe. Me tēnā pātai nui. That's a really relevant question, because when you write in te reo, you're saying so many things in a few words that you can't encapsulate in the same few words in English. So it's really about for me anyway, it's about a thought process and what I want to communicate, because there's lots of kurahuna in te reo Māori, so there's lots of opportunity to say things that you might not actually say out loud, and that's where the magic happens in te reo Māori writing for me, versus... Well, the same thing happens in English as well, but it's a change in mindset when you're going in between English and Māori. Yes, and that's a privilege too. Having the opportunity and the skill set to write in both languages is actually an incredible privilege, because you can communicate a message in a number of ways through different languages. So I don't take that for granted. What about you when you work in te reo Māori? How does it work for you?
I struggle because I struggle to remember ngā kupu. What I try to do is I think, I'm a learner, I'm going to write like a learner so that other people can learn too, so that we're all together in this. So I can't kōrero for more than 20 minutes, and if I do, it's a really, I'm like, kia ora, ko wai te ingoa o koe, he tino a happy ahau. Like, it's all pidgin Māori. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, because I'm trying my best. Ooh, singing. Let's go.
Yo!